Even give someone to go for a walk with your phone. Yeah, I've not done that, but anyway. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing great. If you're new here, you're very welcome. So today we're going to talk about how to overcome procrastination. This is something that I know so many people are dealing with, including me. I'm trying to overcome procrastination, and it's not an easy thing to do. So procrastination is simply putting off doing something by doing something else or doing nothing at all, and it can really interfere with your productivity if you leave it unchecked. It holds you back from pursuing and achieving your goals. So today I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks that you can apply and use to overcome procrastination. These are tips that I myself, the main culprit when it comes to procrastination, have been applying, and there's been change. So it's all good, and I hope they're going to be useful for you as well. So let's get right into the video. So the first thing that you should do is to make a list of everything that you need to do. So basically a to-do list. It could be for a day, for the week, for the month, for whatever, but just have a list of the things that you want to do within this period and stick to that list. So it should cover all the tasks that you want to do, and these are big tasks as well as smaller tasks. So importantly is to just make sure what you have there is what is important. So there's two ways you can work on your to-do list. You could start with the easier tasks and move on to the more difficult, or you could start with the most difficult and move on to the easier ones. It really depends on what is effective for you. So for some people, starting with the easier task is better because it sort of gives them some sort of momentum. So when you accomplish one task, it gives you more motivation to do the next and the next and the next until you get onto the biggest task and complete that. But if you know you'll have a problem, you'll probably work on the smaller task, and then by the time you get to the bigger one, you'll have a problem. You'll feel less motivated because it's more difficult. Then it's easier to begin with the bigger task. So then you do the bigger one, and then the smaller ones are nothing, and you're just like, I could do these ones as well, right? So just choose an approach that works for you and use that. But most importantly, have a to-do list and list down all the important things that you're supposed to do. In that way, you will not lose track and start doing other things. Similarly, aside from just having a list, it helps to have a deadline. So for every task that you have, it's good that you set a deadline and feel pressed by this deadline. If you don't feel any sort of pressure by the deadline, then you'll probably not even bother. But if you feel like, oh, I really need to finish this by this time so I can move on to the next, then you'll feel more pressure to work on it, and then you'll do it, right? So make sure you have deadlines for each and every task, and this is actually really important. Otherwise the to-do list will just be something we write down, and then there's no pressure to do anything, and so make sure you have a to-do list and add on top of that, have deadlines for each and every task. It makes it more effective. Second thing that you can do, and this is especially important if you have a big daunting task, is to break it down into smaller blocks. So then it sort of makes it manageable and not so frightening, right? So usually people procrastinate when a task is big and they feel overwhelmed and they don't know how to approach it. So these small blocks will help you to find a way how to approach, where to begin and where to end, right? So importantly is to set it into smaller blocks and work on one step, focusing specifically on one block at a time, so you forget about the other parts and just focus on this small part that you're doing. And then once you're done, it becomes easier to move on to the next, By the time you get to the middle, it doesn't look so big at all, and you feel like you can easily move to the end. It also helps to set a specific amount of time for each block, and this time should be totally and completely interrupted. So basically the amount of time could vary for each and every block, but make sure this time is also not too much that it becomes overwhelming, right? So for example, you have 4 blocks, each time should have a specific amount of time, and this basically is some sort of deadline. And it doesn't mean you should push yourself so hard that you do shoddy work or whatever it is you're doing, but just make sure it's reasonable time. And if you must have smaller than 4 blocks or however many, have as many blocks as possible, as long as you're making progress and you're finishing each and every block. So basically the aim of the blocks is sort of to motivate you, because it's natural that once you accomplish one task, you'll feel more motivated to move on to the next, because now this daunting task, it seems more doable. But try your best not to relax after you finish one block. So just keep going and keep going and keep going. And you really have to set your mindset in the sense that I've done this, I can do the next, I can do the next. Not I've done this, oh, that is good progress, so let me relax, right? In that way, if you do it that way, then you're not gonna do anything, or you're not gonna finish your task. So that's it. So the third thing that you can do is to eliminate all distractions around you. This, I believe, goes for many people. At least for me, in my case, this is true. So my phone is my distraction. And when I have my phone around me, I can't seem to do anything. So I found a way around it. First of all, I was using an app. So you can do this. You can have an app that blocks you or locks you out from all the time-consuming apps, and then you're unable to access them for a certain period of time, right? So you just set it however you want. So I was using that and it was effective to an extent, but I realized that, you know, I could sort of maneuver and still remove the setting and be able to access anything that I wanted. So I've resorted to something different, and this is out of sight, out of mind. So basically what you do is just put your phone away in a different room, in a, I don't know, just far away from, you could even give someone to go for a walk with your phone. Yeah, I've not done that, but anyway. So usually I just put my phone in a whole different room, and not just there. For example, if you take it to the bedroom, just don't throw it on the bed. Put it somewhere under clothes, or I don't know where you can, when you think of going to get it, you're just like, nah, let it stay there. So yeah, so I put my phone very far, I hide it actually, and then I seem to do much when I do that, because I think the mind is set in a way that, yeah, it takes a little effort to get it, so there's no need, right? So you could do that as well, not hide it as I'm saying, but just keep it away from you if it's something like a phone or something like that. And if your distraction is something different, so for example, you need to retreat or something like that, then do it by all means. But also remember, it's important to say no to some things. So for example, your distraction is people want to come over, or people are inviting you, so you can't get this project done. That's easy. Just say no, you're unable to. So saying no is also a way of, you know, getting the distractions away. So choose what works for you, choose what you feel is appropriate for each situation, and apply it accordingly. Other thing you should do, and I believe not many people focus on this, but it's quite important, is to manage your energy levels. This is one hidden reason why you could be procrastinating, because maybe you're just feeling low, you're tired, you don't feel up to the task and all that, so you just push it further and further and further. So make sure your body and your mind are top notch, in the sense that you feel energetic, and this basically just requires you to take care of your body. It depends on what you eat, and you know what vitamins you're lacking, and if you need to probably add that to your diet or buy supplements or something like that. So make sure whatever you're consuming is adding energy to your body, and it's making your mind stronger as well, not just your body. And aside from just what you consume, it's also what you're doing with your body. So are you moving your body? Are you working out? Are you just do these things that you know, and everybody, most people know, at least enough people know that these are good things for you. So work out, stay fit, and you know, this will boost your energy levels, and this will be in turn good for you to overcome procrastination. It will basically be good for your productivity. Also important to remember is that when you need a break and your body is not up to it, or your mind is not up to it, it's okay to take a break. You're not a machine. The thing is, if you want to keep doing it and you're tired, chances are you'll probably just procrastinate. And once you do it one time, then you'll keep on doing it, and it will then become a habit. So once you realize there's a problem, then sort that problem out and then proceed. So for example, if you're just tired, take a rest, recuperate, and then come back and continue. But if you're tired and you just want to push it but not really rest your body, then it won't really help, because you'll just keep pushing your tasks further, but not really dealing with the real problem. So make sure that everything in your body is working okay, your mind is good, your energy levels are good. Take a rest when necessary, adjust in every way possible. Just make sure your well-being and energy comes first, and then you can keep on going. So it's important to deal with the problem at the root, so you can move on, rather than use being tired and being exhausted as a reason to keep on procrastinating and making it an even more difficult habit to eliminate or to stop. The other thing, and this is quite important, is you need to realize the source of your procrastination. And there are people who are chronic procrastinators, and this stems from fear of failure, for example, or just anxiety, or just something more deep-rooted than just the normal bad habit stuff. So you need to identify if it's the fear of failure or anxiety, then these are things that you need to deal with first for you to be able to overcome procrastination. So for example, if the problem is fear of failure or anxiety, that's good because you already know what the problem is and you know where to start. So deal with that first and then you can move on further. And the thing is, one tip I can give is try not to focus so much on the end goal, the main end result, but rather on the process and the progress. So at a particular time you're working on this and you're at this point, focus on that rather than putting your mind on the final result or the end result, which might be too big, and that's where you feel a bit overwhelmed, and then the fear of failure comes in. You feel you're not confident enough to achieve it. So just focus on the little small baby steps rather than the whole thing. Also do things at your own pace and don't feel rushed or pressured by anybody. As I said, you're not a machine. So whatever is comfortable and whatever brings the best results, do it in that way. So don't feel pushed by what everyone else is expecting. Just move at your own pace and do the much that you can. As long as you're doing something, it's better than not doing nothing at all because you feel paralyzed by fear. And on top, you can do activities that are relaxing, activities that will help to motivate you and help you feel more in control. This will sort of help to nudge you, feel more capable, and in turn take action, and then just keep doing, and that will help you deal with procrastination. As long as you're doing something or you're working on something and making progress, however small, that is better than nothing when it comes to overcoming procrastination. So just to summarize the tips again for you guys, first of all, have a to-do list and set deadlines for the task. And secondly, break your task into smaller manageable blocks. Thirdly, eliminate all sorts of distractions. Fourth, make sure your energy levels are top notch. And fifth, change your mindset. So that's all the tips I had for you today, guys. If you have any more, you can share them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video and if you learned something, give it a like and share. Also remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. It is free of charge. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.